Have you ever experienced a profound sense of loneliness after retirement and believed that visiting old friends might be the solution? Many people believe that rekindling past friendships can fill the emotional void that retirement often brings. However, the reality is not as straightforward as it seems. In this video, we'll explore 5 surprising reasons why visiting friends when you feel lonely might actually worsen your situation. Why you should reconsider relying on old friendships to alleviate post-retirement loneliness. From the evolving nature of relationships to the potential risks of emotional dependency, each reason sheds light on why seeking comfort in familiar faces may not be the solution you anticipate. Instead, we'll uncover a more prudent and fulfilling approach to navigating loneliness after retirement, leading to personal growth and true fulfillment. Stay tuned until the end, as the insights you gain today could revolutionize your approach to social life in retirement. Now, let's delve into the first reason: friendships change after retirement. One of the most challenging truths to accept after retirement is that friendships are not always the same as they once were. You may anticipate picking up where you left off, sharing laughter, stories, and companionship like you did in the past. However, as the years pass, individuals evolve, and life takes different trajectories. The friends you once relied on may no longer align with your current life circumstances. Consider this: before retirement, friendships were often structured around routines. Perhaps you met at work, during lunch breaks, or shared weekend gatherings when your schedules intersected. But now, without those pre-established opportunities, maintaining friendships requires more effort. When you reach out to visit old friends, you may discover that they've established new routines, formed new relationships, and even prioritized different aspects of life that don't always include you. Take John, for instance. At 72, he grappled with deep loneliness after leaving his longtime job. He believed reconnecting with old friends would provide him with the comfort he craved. However, when he initiated contact, he discovered that many of them had already moved on with their lives. Some were engrossed in travel, while others were focused on their grandchildren. A few simply seemed less interested in maintaining close relationships. John found himself feeling even more isolated than before, realizing that his expectations for these friendships no longer aligned with reality. The truth is, not every friendship is destined to last forever. People evolve, and the dynamics that once united friendships may have dissipated. When you visit old friends expecting things to be the same as they used to be, you may unknowingly set yourself up for disappointment. Instead of seeking solace in the past, the wiser choice is to embrace change and focus on building new, meaningful connections that resonate with your current self. Secondly, you might be seeking comfort in the wrong place. When loneliness strikes, it's natural to seek something familiar, something that reminds you of the past and provides a sense of belonging. For many, that means turning to old friends. However, what most people fail to comprehend is that loneliness isn't always about missing people. It's often about missing purpose. After retirement, the daily structure that once gave life meaning suddenly vanishes. There are no work obligations, no meetings, and no responsibilities that demand your attention in the same manner. Many retirees feel adrift, and in that void, they turn to friendships as a means of filling the gap. They believe that simply reconnecting with the right people will restore their sense of self. But the truth is, seeking comfort in old friendships doesn't always address the root cause. You might find yourself spending time with friends, reminiscing about the past, yet still feeling an emptiness within. That's because the problem isn't the lack of social interaction. It's the absence of something truly meaningful to engage with. Instead of seeking fulfillment externally, The wiser choice is to rediscover passions, set new goals, and build a life that excites you, one that doesn't rely on others to complete you. Consider Martha, for instance. At 68, she found herself constantly reaching out to old friends after retirement, hoping their company would bring her happiness. She spent her days calling, visiting, and making plans, but no matter how much she socialized, she still felt a void. It wasn't until she started volunteering at a local animal shelter that she finally experienced a profound sense of fulfillment. She realized that what she had been seeking wasn't friendship, but purpose. If you find yourself feeling lonely and immediately think about visiting an old friend, take a moment to reflect. Am I truly missing this person? Or am I missing something more profound? True emotional fulfillment comes from within, not from relying on others to provide it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, stör nanoshun, nes safe ordentit. I recommend subscribing and turning on the bell to ensure you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. #3 Constant visiting can disrupt social balance. Friendships should be a two-way street where both parties contribute equally, making each other feel valued and appreciated. However, when one person consistently initiates visits, makes plans, and tries to reconnect, it can create an imbalance. You might not even realize it, but when one person is always reaching out while the other is passively responding, the friendship starts to feel one-sided. Many retirees don't notice this at first. They believe they're being proactive by making an effort to stay connected. However, after a while, they start to wonder, why am I always the one making the call? Why am I always the one driving to their house? Do they even want to see me? Or are they just being polite? This can lead to frustration, resentment, and even deeper feelings of isolation. Let's consider Richard, a 70-year-old retiree who made it his mission to stay in touch with his old friends. Every week, he would call or drop by, hoping to catch up like they used to. But after a while, he started noticing something his friends never initiated. They were friendly when he reached out, but they never made the first move. This realization hit him hard, making him feel like maybe they weren't as interested in maintaining the friendship as he was. He wondered, have I been forcing something that isn't there anymore? If you find yourself in a similar situation, always being the one to visit, always doing the work to keep friendships alive, it might be time to step back. A true, meaningful friendship should not feel like a job. If someone values your presence, they will make an effort too. And if they don't, that's a sign to stop chasing and start focusing on relationships that bring mutual joy. Over-reliance on friends can hinder personal growth. It's natural to want companionship, especially after retirement when daily interactions become less frequent. However, relying too much on old friends to fill that space can actually hold you back from the personal growth you need in this stage of life. Instead of stepping outside your comfort zone, meeting new people, or exploring new interests, you might find yourself clinging to the past, revisiting old friendships because they feel safe, even when they no longer serve you. This is something that happened to Barbara, a 74-year-old widow who spent years trying to keep in touch with her childhood friends. Every time she felt lonely, she would reach out to them, visit their homes, and attempt to relive the good old days. However, deep down, she began to notice something. These interactions left her feeling stuck and unfulfilled. She wasn't growing or trying new things. She was simply returning to something familiar because it was easier than confronting change. The reality is, as we age, we need to evolve as well. This doesn't mean abandoning old friendships. It means recognizing when they no longer contribute to our happiness and well-being. Instead of constantly dwelling on the past, why not create a future that excites you? Learn a new skill, travel to a new place, or start a hobby you've always neglected. Life doesn't cease after retirement. It's a new chapter that you get to shape. If you're watching this and realizing you've been clinging to old friendships out of habit rather than genuine joy, ask yourself, am I visiting because I genuinely want to, or because I'm afraid of what the future holds? If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet to Why I Never Such a Storm, I recommend subscribing and turning on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. #5 Unbalanced friendships can drain your energy. Friendships are meant to bring joy, connection, and mutual support. However, if you find yourself constantly visiting friends who no longer align with your energy, values, or lifestyle, it can actually drain you rather than uplift you. Sometimes we keep friendships alive out of obligation, even when they no longer feel fulfilling. As we age, our time and emotional energy become more precious than ever. Consider this. Have you ever spent time with someone and left feeling more exhausted than energized? Perhaps the conversation felt forced, or they dominated the discussion with negativity. Or perhaps you realized you were the one doing all the emotional labor while your friends contributed little in return. That's not a genuine friendship. It's a one-sided transaction. The more you engage in these kinds of interactions, the more you might feel emotionally drained rather than recharged. Take Thomas, for instance. At 76, he prided himself on being a loyal friend. He made regular visits to old acquaintances, always checking in and ensuring they were doing well. However, over time, he began to notice something. These visits weren't bringing him joy. Some friends only wanted to complain, while others never asked how he was doing. A few seemed indifferent to his presence altogether. Instead of feeling connected, he left those visits feeling exhausted, frustrated, and even lonelier than before. The truth is, your time is precious. If you're constantly visiting friends who leave you feeling drained, it's time to ask yourself, is this friendship truly benefiting me, or am I simply holding on to it out of habit? Real friendships should leave you feeling valued, understood, and uplifted. If they don't, it's perfectly acceptable to step back and invest your energy and relationships that bring positivity into your life. Final thoughts. If you've reached this point, take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed today. Friendships are important, but they should never come at the expense of your peace, growth, or emotional well-being. Visiting old friends out of habit, obligation, or loneliness might seem like the right thing to do. However, if those friendships no longer serve you, it may be time to reconsider your approach. Retirement isn't just about preserving the past, it's about creating a future that fulfills you. Instead of clinging to relationships that drain your energy, invest in the things that bring you genuine happiness. Focus on personal growth, meaningful activities, and friendships that make you feel valued. Let go of guilt, and remember that you deserve relationships that uplift and inspire you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which part of this video resonated with you the most? Have you ever felt like you were holding on to friendships that no longer served you? We're grateful for your presence today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts are valuable to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating informative and inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and we eagerly anticipate seeing you in the next video.